Not yet. I've sent messages, but I'm hoping in the next couple of days to be able to catch up with them. I think they'll probably be wanting to just be together at the moment.
Royal family stories have always fascinated us with their mix of glamour, power struggles, and unexpected drama. Today, a new chapter unfolds in the ongoing saga of aristocratic rivalry, with shocking claims that Duchess Sophia has outright banned Queen Camilla from stepping foot on her private estate. This isn't just about family politics. It's about a fierce battle for respect, control, and legacy within the highest circles of nobility. While Queen Camilla is often seen as the dignified consort, it appears that her relationship with Duchess Sophia is far from cordial. From whispered rumors to pointed remarks behind palace doors, the tension has reached an all-time high. What could have sparked such a drastic move? What does this mean for the royal family's public image and future? Stick around as we explore the surprising history between these two powerful women, their personal and political conflicts, and the unexpected twists in this royal feud that the tabloids won't stop talking about. Duchess Sophia may not be a household name like Queen Camilla or Princess Kate, but within Britain's elite circles, she's become a name that commands attention and sometimes sparks tension. Born into an aristocratic family with centuries-old connections to the crown, Sophia didn't marry into power. She was born steeped in it, with her lineage tracing back to noble bloodlines that have long served the monarchy. Sophia grew up among the kind of privilege and tradition that shapes future power players. But unlike others in her social class who've opted for discretion or silence, Sophia chose a more proactive path. Sophia's estate, an expansive ivy-clad manor nestled in the rolling hills of the English countryside, serves not just as her residence, but as the epicenter of her quiet influence. Here, she has hosted charity galas, elite artist retreats, and policy-focused gatherings that have drawn politicians, diplomats, and royals alike. Her knack for turning social events into strategic opportunities has made her indispensable in certain circles, particularly in the arts and philanthropic communities. What sets Sophia apart is her sharp intellect and unapologetic confidence. She's been described as charming but firm, a woman who doesn't flinch under pressure and certainly doesn't shrink in the shadow of more prominent royal figures. However, this very independence has become a double-edged sword. Reports suggest that Queen Camilla's camp hasn't always welcomed Sophia's assertiveness. Whispers of rivalry and power struggles have surfaced, with some alleging that Sophia's influence over select royals has created friction behind palace doors. Despite the pushback, Duchess Sophia continues to rise. She's not just attending events, she's shaping them. Her name appears on the boards of major charities. Her presence is requested at high-level discussions, and her opinion carries weight. Whether seen as a rising ally or a subtle adversary, one thing is clear: Duchess Sophia is a force to be reckoned with. The tension between Duchess Sophia and Queen Camilla has simmered for years, rooted in clashing personalities, overlapping ambitions, and a deep-seated rivalry that only intensified with time. While both women initially presented a united front, those familiar with royal dynamics say the facade was thin from the start. Sophia, fiercely independent and known for her strategic mind, quickly began carving out her own space within royal and aristocratic circles. Camilla, having fought for decades to gain her current position, reportedly saw Sophia's rise as encroaching on hard-won territory. One of the earliest signs of discord appeared at a royal charity luncheon, where Sophia, despite being a relatively new public face, reportedly challenged Camilla's speaking order. While it may have seemed like a minor protocol misstep, insiders say it sent shockwaves through the palace. From there, the rivalry escalated quietly, but unmistakably. The most explosive moment came during a high-profile charity gala. originally intended to spotlight one of Camilla's favored causes. Sophia, according to insiders, redirected donor attention and press coverage toward her own initiative during the same event. The move was widely seen as a calculated slight, one that humiliated Camilla in front of high society and created lasting resentment. Behind the scenes, their interactions have grown frostier. Cold stares, clipped conversations, and avoided engagements have all been noted by royal observers. Palace aides have reportedly struggled to keep the peace during joint appearances. The underlying issue appears to be control. Sophia is not content to play a supporting role, and Camilla isn't ready to cede any ground. With both women wielding influence in different spheres, their feud represents more than personal dislike. It's a power battle with lasting implications for the royal landscape, and neither seems willing to blink first. The infamous private estate incident marked a stunning escalation in the long simmering feud between Duchess Sophia and Queen Camilla. It was supposed to be a step toward reconciliation, a quiet, informal meeting held at Sophia's historic countryside estate, away from the prying eyes of the press. But according to multiple royal insiders, what unfolded was anything but peaceful. Tensions that had been brewing for years finally exploded behind closed doors. Sources say Sophia used the meeting as an opportunity to confront Camilla directly about what she viewed as repeated slights and boundary crossing. Specifically, Sophia accused Camilla of undermining her charitable efforts and interfering in events where Sophia had traditionally held influence. What began as a conversation quickly turned confrontational. Witnesses claim voices were raised, with Sophia accusing Camilla of unacceptable behavior and making it clear that her presence was no longer welcome. In a move that stunned even the closest aides, Sophia allegedly told Camilla she was banned from returning to the estate, declaring her persona non grata. For someone of Camilla's status, this was a deeply humiliating and symbolic rebuke. In royal tradition, estates like Sophia's are considered neutral, familial territory, and banning a senior royal is virtually unheard of. The estate, once seen as a peaceful haven for extended royal gatherings, is now viewed as a no-go zone for the Queen. Palace officials have remained tight-lipped about the incident, but the fallout has been palpable. It sent shockwaves through the inner circle and further deepened the divide between the two women. For many observers, the incident revealed just how fractured the royal inner circle has become. With diplomacy abandoned and personal grudges now on full display, the estate has transformed from a retreat into a symbol of royal rupture. The rift between Duchess Sophia and Queen Camilla is more than just a personal feud, it's a public relations crisis for the royal family. At a time when the monarchy is under increasing scrutiny and battling to stay relevant in a rapidly changing world, the optics of such internal discord are damaging. The reported ban of Queen Camilla from Sophia's private estate, a move virtually unprecedented in royal circles, signals deeper fractures behind the palace walls. And once those cracks are visible, the public and media are quick to pry them wide open. Royal analysts warn that this scandal could reignite long-standing debates about the monarchy's transparency, internal unity, and even its place in modern society. Images of a fractured family undermine the carefully curated message of strength, tradition, and togetherness that the monarchy strives to project. With Camilla's role as queen consort still controversial for many, and Sophia's growing popularity in aristocratic and philanthropic spheres, the feud creates a distracting and damaging narrative. Even if both women maintain a polite front in public appearances, the whispers of discontent are already swirling across social media and tabloids. Every side glance, skipped event, or separate appearance will now be viewed through the lens of this ongoing drama. For a family that relies heavily on public goodwill and perception, This feud couldn't have surfaced at a worse time. King Charles has been attempting to modernize the monarchy and win over younger generations, but internal turmoil threatens to derail those efforts. Whether the palace decides to address the issue publicly or sweep it under the rug, the damage may already be done. The question now is whether the monarchy can recover from yet another high-profile fallout, or if this will be one more crack in an already fragile public facade. Royal families have long been fertile ground for intense personal rivalries and public dramas. Throughout history, power struggles, cold wars, and family feuds have frequently shaped the course of monarchies. From Queen Victoria's well-documented tensions with her daughters-in-law to the bitter disputes among European royal houses in the 18th and 19th centuries, conflict within royal families is nothing new. However, what makes the current feud between Duchess Sophia and Queen Camilla stand out is both the nature of the conflict and the unprecedented public scrutiny it faces. Historically, royal feuds were often kept behind palace doors, shielded from the public eye by layers of etiquette, secrecy, and carefully controlled court politics. For instance, Queen Victoria's strained relationship with some of her daughters-in-law involved both personal dislike and political intrigue. But the details remained largely private. Similarly, many European royal rivalries involved dynastic marriages and territorial claims that unfolded over years with limited public exposure. While these conflicts could be ruthless and deeply personal, they were generally managed within the closed circuits of aristocratic society and the court. The banishment of a reigning queen consort like Camilla from the estate of a duchess like Sophia is unprecedented in modern British royal history. This act symbolizes not just a personal affront, but also a sharp break from royal protocol, where diplomacy and appearances are typically prioritized to preserve family unity. The open nature of this dispute, amplified by leaks to the media and social media chatter, makes it far more damaging than past royal disagreements. Today's royals face the challenge of navigating their conflicts under the relentless gaze of cameras, journalists, and millions of social media users. Every interaction, or lack thereof, is dissected and amplified, creating a pressure cooker environment that leaves little room for private resolution. This intense public scrutiny transforms what might once have been an internal family matter into a full-blown media spectacle, complicating attempts at reconciliation. In essence, while royal feuds are a historical constant, the Sophia-Camilla conflict is unique for its visibility and symbolic nature. It reflects how tradition and modernity collide, forcing the royal family to grapple with age-old tensions in a world that demands transparency and instant reaction. This feud is not just about personalities or power. It's a stark reminder of how the monarchy must evolve to survive today's unforgiving spotlight. Inside the royal family, the reaction to Duchess Sophia's ban on Queen Camilla has been a mix of sympathy, concern, and quiet frustration. Those close to the situation describe a royal household deeply divided, struggling to maintain decorum while dealing with the fallout of a very public family rift. On one side, some royals reportedly admire Sophia's decisiveness, viewing her refusal to tolerate perceived disrespect as a courageous assertion of her boundaries. They see her actions as a sign of strength in a world where royals often suppress personal grievances for the sake of appearances. However, others within the family are growing increasingly worried about the potential long-term consequences of this feud. Royal insiders reveal a growing fear that the dispute could spiral beyond control, undermining the family's public image and creating lasting divisions that may be difficult to heal. The monarchy depends heavily on projecting unity and stability, especially in times of social and political uncertainty, and this kind of discord threatens to erode that carefully maintained facade. Behind the scenes, multiple attempts at mediation have reportedly taken place. Senior members, including the Prince of Wales, have been actively involved in urging both Duchess Sophia and Queen Camilla to reconcile for the greater good of the family and the institution. These efforts emphasize the importance of putting aside personal differences to uphold their public duties and the monarchy's reputation. Yet, the very fact that the details of the ban have leaked to the media points to the fragility of these attempts. It suggests that communication lines remain strained and that the feud's impact is already extending beyond private circles. Some family members are said to be trying to act as peacemakers, hosting informal gatherings and encouraging dialogue. But with emotions running high and pride deeply entrenched, progress appears slow and uncertain. The palace remains tight-lipped, signaling a desire to handle the matter discreetly. But the persistent media attention ensures this issue will remain front and center. Ultimately, the reactions within the royal family reveal a struggle to balance personal loyalties, public responsibilities, and the harsh realities of living under constant scrutiny. Whether this internal conflict can be resolved before it causes lasting damage remains an open question. The unfolding feud between Duchess Sophia and Queen Camilla has left royal watchers anxiously speculating about what's next. The big question on everyone's mind: will this bitter standoff lead to a reconciliation, or is it merely the start of a deeper, more public fracture within the royal family? Many experts suggest that reconciliation remains possible, especially if both women are willing to set aside pride and engage in sincere dialogue. A formal apology from one or both parties could serve as a crucial first step toward healing. Royal families have long relied on private meetings behind closed doors to resolve conflicts quietly and diplomatically, and such a carefully orchestrated encounter might help ease tensions. Given the stakes, senior royals are likely to continue pushing for mediation in hopes of preserving family unity and public trust. However, the situation is far from straightforward. The personal history and long-standing grievances between Sophia and Camilla could complicate efforts at reconciliation. When wounds have deep roots, pride and past slights often act as significant barriers to genuine resolution. This could potentially open the door for more heated exchanges or public snubs that would further inflame the situation. Another unpredictable factor is the role of the media and public opinion. In today's 24/7 news cycle and social media-driven world, every development is scrutinized and amplified. Social media campaigns and tabloid coverage can fan the flames, making it harder for the family to manage the narrative or contain the conflict. Public sentiment could also influence how both women approach the feud, whether they choose to tough it out or seek peace. As the story continues to unfold, royal watchers can expect this drama to dominate headlines and social feeds for months. Whether it ends with a quiet reconciliation or an ongoing power struggle, the fallout will have lasting implications for the monarchy's image and internal dynamics. One thing is clear: this royal saga is far from over, and all eyes will remain fixed on every new development. No royal story in today's world escapes the intense spotlight of media frenzy and public speculation, and the feud between Duchess Sophia and Queen Camilla is no exception. From the moment news of the ban surfaced, tabloids and news outlets jumped on the story, often amplifying or dramatizing details to captivate their audiences. Headlines have ranged from sensational claims of palace betrayals to character judgments, fueling a narrative that's as much about scandal as it is about real family dynamics. Social media has become a particularly powerful arena in this saga. Platforms like Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok are buzzing with debates, memes, and hot takes from fans, critics, and royal observers worldwide. Hashtags related to both Sophia and Camilla trend regularly, with users divided over who deserves sympathy or blame. Supporters of Duchess Sophia praise her for taking a bold stand to protect her autonomy and dignity, seeing her as a symbol of modern royal independence. Meanwhile, defenders of Queen Camilla portray her as unfairly targeted and emphasize her long-standing commitment to royal duties and charity work. This cacophony of public opinion complicates the royal family's efforts to resolve the feud quietly. The more the story circulates, the harder it becomes for both sides to back down without losing face or fueling further gossip. Private discussions risk being overshadowed by the relentless media spotlight, which thrives on conflict and drama. For the royal family, managing this public relations crisis is critical. Their response could set an important precedent for how future internal disputes are handled in an era dominated by instant news and viral content. Will the family adopt a more transparent approach to addressing conflicts, or will they double down on discretion to contain damage? How they navigate this delicate balance will shape not only the outcome of this feud, but also the monarchy's ability to maintain its image in a rapidly changing media landscape. The dramatic tale of Duchess Sophia banning Queen Camilla from her private estate may seem like a page from a royal soap opera, but it reflects real tensions that exist behind the palace walls. As the feud unfolds, one thing is clear: the world of royalty is never short of surprises. Whether this conflict will end in reconciliation or continue to escalate remains to be seen. What do you think about this shocking royal standoff? Could these two powerful women ever bury the hatchet? Or is this feud here to stay? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into royal drama, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more insider stories and updates. Your support helps us bring you the latest and most exciting royal news.